Good, happy Tuesday morning. Is Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. I'm Riley King, and welcome to WRMK News Radio. Today is Election Day. We got a jam-packed broadcast to get to this morning, so let's get started right now. First up, candidates in the race for New Hampshire governor reach out to voters on the eve of election. Let's take a listen to that report.
Ontario would let politicians ban abortion here in Maine, even in cases of rape, even to save a woman's life. If you don't think that politicians should make our private medical decisions, then say no to Ontario.
Democrat Joyce Craig making some last-minute rounds with former Governor John Lynch and Congressman Chris Pappas.
Good luck tomorrow. Thank you. For you.
Thank you very much. The former Manchester mayor hitting stops across the state today, hoping that any extra face time with voters might give her the edge in what many are calling the most competitive governor's race in the country.
This weekend, we made a ton of stops talking to voters. You know, they know what's on the line.
But her opponent, Republican Kelly Ayotte, is hitting the pavement too. Going door-to-door herself on her competitor's home turf.
Let's do it.
To convince voters that she's the right choice to lead New Hampshire.
Meeting as many voters as we can this last day before the election tomorrow.
Both candidates hoping their final messages will resonate with voters.
They want a governor who can get things done, focusing on the issues that matter most, affordable housing, strengthening our public schools, protecting reproductive rights, and decreasing costs for families.
If I have the privilege of being governor, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring people together across the aisle on issues like our economy, jobs, housing.
Now tomorrow we'll likely go and see the candidates as they meet with voters again and cast their own ballots themselves. We're live in Concord tonight at the State House, Ariel Metropolis, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Trump-Harris campaigns make final push to sway New Hampshire voters. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Former President Donald Trump has swept the New Hampshire primary 3 cycles in a row, but has never won the state in the general election. In Pelham, his loyal supporters out in droves on election eve in a push to turn the Granite State red.
The future is not bright with Democrats in office. It's been proven. Look at inflation, look at the border, look at crime.
Whoever can do the job the correct way, that should be our president. That should be our leader. I feel that as of right now, the Democrats that have been in charge have just not been able to pull their weight and do what's right.
In Manchester, Democrats making their own call to get out the vote, highlighting local and statewide candidates anchored by Vice President Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket.
She's out there for the United States, for the people, and cares about the people.
It's a race divided sharply on the issues. Harris supporters pointing to reproductive rights and climate change policy. Trump voters wanting a return to what they felt was a stronger border and U.S. economy under his administration.
You know, we got illegal immigrants coming in this country. We have our economy that's off, gas prices that are up.
We want to continue what the Biden-Harris administration started in terms of investments into clean energy, climate action.
And if you look back just a few months ago, over the summer, Donald Trump was actually leading among likely New Hampshire voters, but that was when Joe Biden was the nominee. Ever since Kamala Harris took over that spot as the top of the ticket, she's held a fairly consistent lead over the former president. Right now, the latest polling from St. Anselm College has the Vice President Kamala Harris roughly 5 points ahead of Donald Trump among New Hampshire voters. Live in Manchester, Ross Ketchke, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. One person dead following a mobile home fire in Raymond, authorities say. Let's take a listen to that report.
Breaking news coming out of Raymond tonight. One person is dead after a fire at a mobile home. This happened on Hummingbird Lane. A dog was killed in the fire, too. That fire is now out, that home destroyed. The fire marshal is there on scene investigating.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Election workers work into the night preparing voting sites for Election Day for today. Let's take a listen to that report.
You're going to go to a booth, and you're going to choose the booth you want.
And you're going to vote.
Voting is that easy, according to Derrytown clerk Tina Guilford. She oversees the elections process in town, run out of Pinkerton Academy. With just a short window of time to set up, town officials have been here since 4:30 this afternoon, transforming this gym into Derry's only polling location. What you're looking at here is nearly 200 voting booths, 199 to be exact. That's one for every 100 registered voter.
So we have 19,873. And at this point, I'm expecting them all.
There will be about 140 poll workers at Pinkerton helping those voters. Guilford says there are some things people need to know before they head to the polls. Polling location hours vary, so you'll want to check on that timing before you go. As long as you're in line by closing time, you will be allowed to vote. You can also register on site if you haven't already. And if you forget your ID, there's also a process in place so you can vote.
There is an affidavit for forgetting your ID where we take your Polaroid picture if you're already a registered voter.
Derrytown moderator Dave Nelson oversees a lot of Election Day operations, and he says the Granite State does a great job of keeping the process simple and secure.
The nice thing about New Hampshire is there is always a paper trail because there is always a paper ballot.
Guilford says it's been weeks of sleepless nights dedicated to Election Day prep. What she's looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Wednesday, when everything is counted and everything is done.
In Derry, Isabella Turst, WMUR News 9.
If you have any problems at your polling location tomorrow, here's what you should do. The Attorney General's office has a hotline you can call. The number is right here on your screen. It is 1-866-868-3703. It will be open tomorrow from the time the polls open to the time they close at 8 p.m. Now, if the call goes to voicemail, you can leave a message. You can also email electionlaw@doj.nh.gov. You can find all this information on the voter guide on WMUR.com and the WMUR app.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Good information right there. Swing state election officials step up security to protect voters and workers. Let's take a listen to that report from ABC News.
And can you see a number in the circle?
79.95.
Want to try again?
79.95.
I think you might be colorblind.
I think you're missing the point. Get 2 pairs and an eye exam for $79.95 at America's Best.
This campaign season has seen an extraordinary level of threats against polling sites, election workers. In fact, the FBI receiving more than 2,000 threats against election workers since the 2020 election. ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas tonight on the dramatic new steps, the drones, the bulletproof glass, and the National Guard now on standby. Here's Pierre.
Just hours from Election Day, local officials in battleground states tonight taking extraordinary steps to protect the votes and the workers counting them. In Maricopa County, Arizona, where some people showed up with guns during the 2020 vote count, armed guards, drones, surveillance cameras, police on horses, and a SWAT team standing by. In Detroit, the city stepping up security to avoid scenes like this in 2020, when pro-Trump supporters tried to disrupt the ballot counting. This time, officers will be in and around the building, even on the roof.
We now have bulletproof glass on the front of our building. We have more cameras. We have a panic button.
Governors in Washington, Nevada, and Oregon will have the National Guard ready for any large-scale civil disturbances. And in Philadelphia, the district attorney with this blunt warning.
Anybody who thinks it's time to insult, to deride, to mistreat, to threaten people, F around and find out. We do have the cuffs. We do have the jail cells.
And in Georgia, where election workers were under so much pressure in 2020, with Trump calling the Secretary of State looking for 11,000 more votes, tonight this message: the vote counting will be fast and fair, with results possibly as soon as tomorrow night, David.
Pierre Thomas with us too. Pierre, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that report. We're going to switch gears now, and let's go into your weather. In weather today, morning clouds will give way to afternoon sunshine, high near 70 degrees, winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds, otherwise generally clear, low 58, winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And tomorrow, sunshine and clouds mixed near record high temperatures, high 78, winds west-southwest at 10 10 to 15 miles per hour. Currently cloudy and 47 degrees right now. And let's take a look at those roadways and traffic right now and see how the traffic is shaping up on this Tuesday morning for your election day. And looking at the roadways, 93 heading into Massachusetts, not too bad of a ride as well. 293, not too bad of a ride as well. And the Manchester area, nice smooth sailing ride as well. 93 around Hooksett, Bow, and Concord, nice smooth sailing ride as well. 393, nice smooth sailing ride as well. Before you got a really nice smooth sailing ride. A little bit of medium paced traffic in some areas, but not too bad. Route 16 over the Spalding, nice smooth sailing ride with some medium paced traffic, not too bad though. 95 from Maine, New Hampshire into the border, Massachusetts. Nice smooth sailing ride. 101, a nice smooth sailing ride in Merrimack, Nashua. Into that border, Massachusetts, a nice smooth sailing ride as well. A little bit of medium-paced traffic around the Nashua area, but not too bad there. That's a look at your traffic. Now let's switch gears and go into sports. In sports, Boston Celtics, they had a game yesterday. Final score of that game was Celtics 123 and Atlanta Hawks 93. Celtics won the game last night. Excellent job, Celtics. Celtics are 7-1 and Atlanta Hawks are 3-5. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Kansas City Chiefs, they had a game yesterday. The game went into overtime and the final score was Kansas City Chiefs 30 and Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24. Kansas City Chiefs won the game yesterday. And Kansas City Chiefs are 8-0, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 4-5. Bruins, they play tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. against Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's go Boston Bruins. Hopefully they can win tonight's game. Game time, 7 o'clock p.m. And that does it for this edition of WRMK News with Riley King, right here on WRMK News Radio. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Have a great day. Goodbye.